Welcome to the PSAV Inspiration Cafe, where technology meets inspiration. And when we think about inspiration, one of the things that certainly is current and important is the whole issue of sustainability. And I'm so proud and delighted to have with us today Amy Spatrisano, principal of MeetGreen, who has not only been carrying the green banner on her own and with her partners for some time, but also actually wrote the book on green, Saving Green by Going Green, the book that Amy co-authored. And we want to spend a little time today talking about sustainability and its role in the industry and what planners can do to incorporate a sustainable green strategy, no matter what size the organization. So Amy, help me, because I know you have been carrying this green banner, not all by yourself, but you were a voice in the woods for a while.
Yes, long before it was cool and sexy.
Right.
So I'm happy now that people are engaged in sustainability and at all levels, and it's okay because this is still a new journey for everybody.
We've had a couple of speakers talk about sustainability in the broad sense. Green, the environmental part of it,
right.
The lighter footprint on the communities where the meetings are held, and I know this is all the areas that you focused on. Are companies now incorporating green strategically rather than simply opportunistically?
Well, I think there's still both, and I think the organizations that are practicing smart business are practicing sustainable business, because if you look at it, sustainability is about people, planet, and profit. And the way that business is going today, you need to be incorporating all of those to make sure that you are going to have the resources that you need, that you can afford the resources because they're not so depleted. So again, if you're practicing smart business, you're working in sustainability most likely.
And could you have a sustainability strategy for meetings and not have it for the company as a whole?
Yes, in fact, there are some organizations that are doing that, and that's where they're starting, is with their meetings. I also think that organizations who have sustainable commitments, and there's some very large ones out in the world, if their meetings aren't being performed sustainably, that's going to be a reflection on them, because if they're not walking the talk even when it comes down to their meetings, but they have a large global commitment to sustainability, that's something they need to be aware of as well. So I've seen it from both directions, some bottom down and bottom up.
So you could, if you, as you say, you could use meetings as your first step
Absolutely.
in a sustainability strategy.
Absolutely.
And not feel like you're doing it opportunistically, but just starting out.
Right, and the more you measure it, because most of the things, especially when you're starting to do this, most of the things that you do will be cost effective. They'll actually save you money. So if you can start tracking that and show that there's a business case for it, it's a much easier sell.
What would be an example of money saver?
Well, the one that most people know most about is bottled water. If you're not doing individual bottled water, like the PCMA, they're not doing individual bottled water. If you've noticed, they have the Cambros, and you can just fill the water up with a cup or your own reusable container. That saves them a lot of money. When you think about it, most facilities charge anywhere from, the lower end, $3 plus. So, you can literally save thousands of dollars in an event this size by not having individual bottled water.
And doing good at the same time.
Absolutely.
From a planning perspective, a lot of the folks watching this will be planners. Mm-hmm. Does the drive for sustainability start, where does it begin? Does a planner say to a supplier, when you bid this project, you must include sustainable initiatives, or does it start with a corporate C-level people saying to the planner, when you have a meeting, you must be sustainable? Where does it all begin?
And that would be yes to all those.
Oh, okay.
So there are lots of different circumstances. We've seen anything from a CEO making a statement at a corporate meeting that they're going to be carbon neutral by X date, and have the planner in the room start to panic a little bit because they don't understand what that might mean for their meetings. We've also seen planners who are huge champions of this, and they look within their request for proposals, they look for suppliers that can perform in a way that they want them to perform. So we really have seen everything. We've also seen suppliers who are committed to this. This is how they do what they do. From the hotel perspective, I've seen it with audiovisual companies, I've seen it with all the different suppliers, and they help educate their clients about why they do it the way that they do it, and that it makes sense for the client as well.
So it can start from anywhere.
Exactly.
And be
Just
top down.
start. I mean, that's the biggest key, is
Right.
start. And start with one thing or two things. Don't think that you have to eat the whole, elephant, as the expression goes. And I think in our society, if we can't do something 100%, we tend not to want to do it at all. With sustainability, it's a journey. It's something that you need to take the first step and the next step and the next step, because so much is changing so fast. We know now, today, more than we did even 2 years ago in the realm of sustainability. So the choices that you would make today would have been different even from the 2 years ago. So you have to be open to being willing to see what's new on the horizon. So.
And just one last question, because I know this has been your passion for a long time.
Yeah.
How high is up? Do you feel that if you had every company was sustainable, I mean, where do you see the industry going? How high?
I often
How
joke.
clean?
I often joke with people. I hope I live long enough to see sustainability actually be something we don't talk about as a separate something. That it's just how we do business. So we wouldn't have a conversation about it being green or being sustainable or corporate social responsibility or all the other terms and sort of file cabinets that we put all of these things. Right. That it would just be how everyone does business.